Hi, everybody. It's Linda here, and I hope that you're doing well. This is the second time that I'm doing this video because the first one was way too long. I sometimes get off topic, but what I want to do in this video is show you or explain to you my process. I started this channel a year and a half ago. I met Pam from the Paper Outpost. We became friends. And I explained to her, well, she knew that I was interested in painting. And through her, I learned about junk journals. So I started my channel in June of 2023. And I started watching many different people that make these junk journals. And I realized along the way, 6 months into it, that I really wanted to go back to painting. And I had never done watercolor painting. I started a year ago. So let me go back. What I'd like to do is explain to you, while I was learning about junk journals, I was on YouTube constantly watching the different people. So what I want to do is give you a list, and I think I'm going to break it down to 3 people in each category that I recommend. Excuse me, and this is not to say that the other artists out there are not worthy, but I just want to break it down because there are so many. And once you click on one of them, the others will all pop up for you if you haven't already experienced them. So within the junk journal experience, I spent a lot of my time watching Pam at the Paper Outpost, and she has a large channel. I'm not sure exactly how many she has right now. I think it's over 150,000, but she has loyal patrons that watch her, love her. She's got a great personality, and she's extremely knowledgeable. Another person that I like and who has a different spin on it is Kerry Griffith. Kerry Griffith is extremely talented. He works with gel prints, gel pads, and he uses a lot of different colors. He's extremely talented, and I highly recommend him. It's a different spin on things. And then another person within the junk journal world that I like, which is a little bit different. I'm giving you people that are all from different categories, different styles, would be Treasurebooks. And she has a very artistic way of working with papers and different papers, and she's extremely talented. So that takes care of that category. Then half a year into it, around January, not around, it was January of 2024, I made an attempt to try and learn watercolor. So I've been doing watercolor now for a year, and my experience and ways of painting have changed. I think within the art community, many will tell you that it's probably a lifelong journey of growing and through practicing and watching other people. You develop your own style, and I think it's always going to be, for me, I don't think I'm going to learn everything in this, within 2 years. I know for sure I'm not learning everything within the past year. There's so much to learn, and it's constant practice and playing with your materials. But I will tell you that the first person that I came across, is Jenna Rainey. Jenna Rainey is extremely talented with florals. And you know what? I might also, it's really hard because there's so many good ones. Another woman that I like to watch is Diane Antone Studios. She has a very loose style, and I think I gravitate more I definitely gravitate more towards loose paintings. I try to do more detail, but it's something that I would need to practice a lot more. So another person, I'm trying to break it down to see. I have so many great artists that I do like to watch. I'll give you another one. You know what I'm going to make this for? It's really hard. So it's I'll write these names down. Bucciarelli. Anna Bucciarelli. I know I'm not pronouncing her name correctly, and I apologize, but I will write all the names in my description. I just want to put a check here, check, and I'm going to give you this one. So Anna, I believe she lives up in Canada, and she's an extremely talented artist. She does fine paintings, and I believe that she paints for the Canadian Mint Company, and she's extremely talented. So that's one I would highly recommend checking out. And I'm going to give you 4 on this one. The other one is Emma Jane Lefebvre. I can't pronounce her last name. I'm going to mess it up. Lefebvre. I believe it's a French name. I apologize. I'm messing it up, but I will put the correct spelling of her name in the description. She's excellent, and she's very good with florals. So as far as I started getting into doodling and a lot of abstracts I was doing, because for me, it's very relaxing, and I can step out of the boundaries of being a fine artist, which I'm not, and just play with pens and not acrylics, with watercolor and markers. And just, for me, it's just very relaxing. It's very zen, and I enjoy it. So who I would recommend for that particular area would be, I started with Miss Betsi, and she is a very good Zentangler. I also like Hue Art drawings, extremely talented, and what's her name? Creationsceecee. So those 3 are excellent. Now there's one artist that I learned a lot from, and I highly recommend you check out her channel. She unboxes a lot of products. She demonstrates the products for you, and she tells you her professional, because she is a professional artist, her opinion on these products. She's also demonstrated a lot of her drawings and paintings, and you see not detailed, the whole drawing, but you do see her paintings, and she's very talented. So I highly recommend, please check out Aimee from Winter Woods Studio. She's right now trying to save, I'm in a small room also, but she's really hoping for more patrons to come to her channel and watch, and it will help her to build another room off the side of her house, a studio. So it costs nothing to like, subscribe, and watch a channel if it's something that you're interested in. Okay, so of those people, there are many, many more people that you could watch, and I don't want this video to go on forever. But the purpose of this video was to show you what I've learned, the mistakes I've made, and the improvements that I'm trying to make along my journey. So what I'm going to do is put the camera on pause, and I'm going to show you some of the products that I started with and what I've been using. So one of the mistakes I made when I first started watercolor was I started using this paper, which I thought was the proper paper, because why did I think it was proper? It said cold press. I knew cold press was recommended, but I thought it was 100% cotton, and it's not. It turns out I think that it's cellulose. I looked all over to try and find out what it was, but it did have 140 pounds and 300 Gs, which is pretty good. It's pretty thick paper. It's actually, I thought, in my opinion, my humble beginner opinion, that it was good paper because it seemed thick and it had the texture in it, but it's not 100% cotton. So when I started using this one, it came with 2 of these 32 sheet pads, and as you can see, I used up one of the pads. I'm on my second one, but I do not use this or recommend this if you want to improve in your watercolor experience. I would get 100% cotton. But I bought this, still not thinking anything wrong of it. I went ahead and the next one I bought, and I mentioned this a lot in my videos, and I apologize, but I bought this one, which is also says 140 pounds, 300 GMs, wood blend, and this one was recommended. Now, it's cold press again, but it's not 100% cotton. So you'll get a different experience when you're using this type of paper, as opposed to the paper that I will show you after this, which is better paper and what the professionals will tell you to get and will help you improve your painting. So let's move this one to the side, and I will get, where did I put it? Okay, so after that, I heard about Meaden's watercolor paper, which is 100% cotton. It has 220 sheets, 10 by 7, and I did a lot of painting with this type of paper. What's good about, now it's not cold press, it's hot press, but what's good about hot press, like me, I like to use, oh boy, I hope that doesn't stop my, I like to use, I just got a phone call, that's why I said that. I like to use markers and pens and stuff like that, and they work much better on a smoother surface. Now, unfortunately, I started drawing something in here, but it doesn't look so good. But this paper has a much smoother surface than the cold press on the other paper does. So this is pretty good paper. It's not super expensive, but I would definitely recommend this. Now, the other paper that was recommended, this is bow-hung pure cotton watercolor paper, and it is also 100% cotton. Wait a minute. My brain is thinking about that phone call I just got. I have to call back. So there's 20 sheets in this, and it does say 100% cotton, and I believe this one is also hot press because it's very smooth. There's no texture, maybe a tiny little bit, but hardly any. So this is a good choice, as opposed, these two, if you're on a budget, are better choices than getting the wood blend or the, I think it's both wood blend, I'm not 100% sure. I tried hooking this one up to see what it was made of. It could be cellulose. So with that, these are better choices if you're beginning, or even if you're advanced. These are good choices because I've seen the professional artists use these papers. What they really like, we'll bring this up next, are arches. So arches comes in different sizes and different textures. So the first one I want to show you, move this over, is the arches cold press. Now the difference between, well, these two are on blocks. I should have mentioned this. What you do with the block is it has an opening right here, and you can stick a butter knife, or you can take, I have the tool right here, just have to find it. Here it is. So this particular tool came with the bow hung, and it's really useful because what you can do, and I should have turned the light on, I always forget to do that. Let's turn it on. Okay, so with this, there's an opening right here. When you're done with your painting, you can go slice around with this or butter knife to get your painting off. Now, the reason for the block is that when you're painting with water, it has a tendency to make the paper buckle a little bit. So when it's on a block, it will stay pretty flat for a consistent amount of time. Then once it dries, that's when you'll take your little tool and you'll take your paper off. The other one, the one that, from what I'm learning, is the best paper out there is Arches. So Arches comes in cold press and it comes in hot press. It comes sealed all around in a block, and it also comes loose. Now on this one, compared to the bow hung, this one is much, the Arches is much more expensive. You can actually see where you're going to stick your tool in to divide it. But they make it easier because they paint all around it with this black, I guess it's like a glue. And it's a beautiful paper. I've painted on this and I absolutely love it. This is great paper. So this is the choice that I would recommend, that has been recommended to me by many influencers to use. So now the other choice is you can get the Arches paper loose. Let me move this out of the way. You can get, when I say loose, I mean that it's not in a block. So you have the hot press, which is very large. It's 11.69 by 15.53. So it's a little bit more than 11 and a half by 16 and a half. This one I'll show you first is hot press. It's 140 pounds. It's 100% cotton, and it's a smoother texture. Now I have painted, you'll see in my previous 3 videos, me trying to finish this painting. I'll show you real quickly, where I used 2 different paints, some markers, not markers, pens, and then the Posca pens. And this particular painting came out pretty good. I kind of used doodling effect on all the flowers. And that was done on this type of paper. Now, what I recommend, after I do this, let me do the next one. Okay, so the next one is Arches, and it comes in this 10 by 14. So you can see the difference in 10 by 14 as opposed to 11 by, 16. There's a little bit of a difference. So what you could do, if this is too expensive for you, because these sheets are so large, you can actually cut them. And if you were going to cut them, I wouldn't use a scissor. I would recommend getting a cutter. I got this from one of the stores locally here. It's a Fiskar, and I recommend something like this, or any kind of a tool that will give you a nice sharp edge. Because when you're doing your pictures, you don't want to ruin the appearance. So this one is hot press, and the hot press has a definite bumpy texture. You can feel it all around. So that's your paper. So if you are going to get into doing watercolor, save yourself a lot of money. Instead of spending it on the wood blend, take your money and put it into the Arches or something that is 100% cotton. Make sure that whatever you do, it's 100% cotton. I really like the cold press, but when I'm using pen and ink, I will lean more towards the hot press. Okay, so that covers your papers. The next thing I want to show you, when I first started, my very first set, and this is student grade, but I absolutely like it a lot. So I'm going to come a little bit closer. Now, this set was not expensive, but it gave me a lot of colors. It gave me a lot of brushes, and it introduced me to this watercolor brush that I was, the whole experience was new for me. So I opened it up, and I'm really excited because it has all these colors. Now, it gives you a swatch card. I didn't understand what the purpose was behind the swatch card, but basically, it's very simple. You want to swatch out all your colors, because a lot of times, for instance, let's see, right over here you have, it's brown. No, you have red ochre. You don't really know what these colors will look like unless you have them swatched out on the card. And then you can mix them, and we can talk about different values in another video. But, you can also buy smaller kits of red, blue, and yellow. And from there, you can mix those colors and make many other colors from the color wheel. But, I don't understand why you have to do that when you can have all the colors already. But you can still do that, and you can still mix, as you see I have. But along with this, I also have what came with this, which was very exciting. And of course, I don't have it here. Hold on 1 minute. So along with this, it comes with 7 brushes, a flat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 small rounds. And you can do a lot with this. Even though they're small, it's a great way to get started. Along with that, you get a water brush. Now, what I always open this the wrong way. So what you do is you open the barrel, you add water here, and you have instantaneously, oops, wrong way again. You have water available by just pressing the bottom, and then the water will come up. Now there's no water in there, and it's a round brush. So it's, you can take this for traveling, and I think it was a great way to get started for me with my watercolor journey, which was kind of scary. I mean, I'm not an art student. I didn't go to art school. I'm self-taught right now, and I'm learning from all the people that I'm watching on YouTube. So the next set that I got was the Kuritakes, and they were recommended. The first time I heard about Kuritake was through Diane Antone, and I was infatuated with what they're able to do. So they give you a swatch sheet on the inside, and then they also give you one that's loose, which I find very valuable because I usually take the cover, I put it together like this, and if I'm painting, I can just stand this up next to me to see what colors I want to use. So now it comes with this cover, and you can see these are well loved. I've used them a lot, and you can see the colors that I really gravitate towards. I absolutely love this set. It's very opaque, which is more, they say gouache, but I've never done gouache. So for me, I compare it to my experience with acrylics. And my experience with acrylics is all self-taught also. So I'm basically a beginner learning how to do all this stuff. And I figured, let me go on here and just show you the mistakes I've made and what I've learned along the way over the past year. So after I got that, I also got, and where did I put it? I thought I took it out. Oh, I did take it out. I also bought the 6 set of the different golds. I absolutely love using gold in my videos, a lot more so with my abstracts. So gold is one of my favorites, and you can also use gold pens, but I bought this as well based on Diane's recommendations, and she gives good recommendations. She also recommended the Paul Rubens watercolor set. Now we're stepping up. The Kuritakes are probably intermediate. I would use them as a professional personally, but I'm not a professional, but that's just my opinion. And then the Paul Rubens is probably intermediate. It comes with a swatch pad. So I swatched all the colors out, and they're absolutely gorgeous. What I gravitate to is all vibrant colors. And again, like I said, you can get more expensive paints and just buy 3 tubes. What did I say? It was yellow, blue, and red. And then from there, you can mix and get all your other colors. But for me, this is easier. I'm a beginner, and I just love looking at the different colors in the set. And you have this option on the sides to use the palette tray to mix, and this folds nicely and fits in the set. I will put all these the links to all these products below if you're interested. Okay, the other one that I picked up, and this is based on Jenna Rainey, I think her last name is. She uses the professional Winsor Newton. She doesn't buy them like this in the tray. She buys the tubes. They're very expensive. I chose to go and get the half pans. There's 24 in this set. And I made my own swatch card because it didn't come with one. So I made my own that would fit nicely in this palette tray. So these are the colors that come with this: cerulean blue, Windsor green, hooker's green, sap green, olive green, yellow ochre, raw sienna, raw umber, burnt umber, Payne's gray, ivory black, lemon, yellow, cad yellow, orange, cad red, alizarian, crimson, permanent rose, permanent magenta, violet, Indian Thrian blue. I don't know how to pronounce that, French ultramarine and Windsor blue green shade. So I'm very happy with this set. It's you're stepping up now to to using more professional level paints, maybe intermediate. But I don't know what the light fast of this is, and I'm learning about light fast, which is the ability for your paints to stay strong in color with light being exposed to light. So that's that one. Then the next thing I want to show you that I learned was about brushes. So I learned from Janie about the, let me put this on. I learned about the Princeton brushes, and I bought several brushes, and I have a 10 round coming. So I have 6 of the Princeton brushes, and the ones that I use the most are probably these 4, and the 10 round is coming. So what I have here is a 2 script liner, and it's got a nice fine point. I have, my favorite is the 8 round. I love the 8 round. These are all synthetic, and it has a nice snap. And then this, I do use it, but I would have to admit that I mostly use it in the wrong way, which is like a mop brush, but I have used it for painting and, painting around larger areas like I did with that one painting that I think I showed you. Okay, so this is a 6 quill aqua elite Princeton. Then the other 3 that I have that I don't use very often. Oh wait, I do use this. What am I saying? The 3 round, the Princeton Heritage 3 round. I really like this one. These 2 I don't use very often, but I'm going to be expanding my experience and trying to get into more of using the dagger. So these are my Princeton brushes. So I would recommend, if you start painting, to get good brushes and to get good paper and to get good paint. Those are the 3 things that are essential to becoming a good artist. Oh, I forgot to show you one thing. On Diane Antone's recommendation, I also purchased the tubes of 24 different watercolors. Now I've used these and I really like them a lot, and they say that they're beginner level. I don't understand why. Probably because of the light fast, but they're a great set. I really love them, and they come in tubes. So you will see here the colors are titanium white, lemon yellow, pale yellow, gamboge, yellow ochre, orange yellow, scarlet red, vermilion, crimson red, rose, cerulean blue, cobalt blue, ultramarine blue, Prussian blue, pale green, sap green, deep green, phthalo green, violet, brilliant purple, burnt sienna, raw umber, and black. You can make a lot of, you can use this to do a lot. And like I said, again, you really only need 3 colors, but I am happy to, use all the tubes. Eventually I might get into just buying 3 colors and mixing, but for now, this is working very well for me, and this set was very inexpensive. Now, along with this set, what I did was I got, because it didn't come with a palette tray, and I wanted something that would fit all the colors in, so I chose this set, this palette. Unfortunately, the handle came off, which is able to go back on, and I'm going to have my son help me with that. So what you do is you squirt out all the, the individual tubes, and then you let them sit overnight so that they get hard. You have this tray right here, which is plastic, and then you also have another tray if you need to. And what's great about this, the fact that you can take it out, is you can bring it in the kitchen, rinse it off, and start all over again. Now, it will, because it's plastic, it will leave a little discoloration on the palette. So the best palettes to get are ceramic. Ceramic are the best. I have one ceramic palette. Let me get that. This is an excellent ceramic little palette that you can use for mixing, or you want to keep your colors separate and you want to tone them down a little bit, and then you have plenty. This is excellent. There are others. I don't have them because I'm trying to build my, my, what do you say? My inventory. So this is what I have as a beginner with watercolor. Okay, and I showed you the brushes. There's other stuff that I want to show you. I want to show you the pens I use. You know what? Before we go into the pens, I think it's important to also go over the reason why most artists have two water jugs. And you don't always have to have two water jugs, but if you're working with different colors and you don't want them to mix, it's good to have two water jugs. Now, why do they use two? Well, the first one, from my understanding, is it winds up becoming dirty water because you're constantly going in and out. So the best thing that I learned to do is when you're painting, just after you get your paint and you want to switch to another one, I would wipe I would wipe my paintbrush first. I would go into my dirty water, wipe it again. Now, let's say I want to make sure that that color is not on there. I will go, after I've wiped it several times, I will go into the clean water and I will wipe it on a tissue. I'll also have a tissue handy because what happens sometimes is you will get water on the barrel. And this is just my experience. And you can just wipe the barrel so that it doesn't drip and you don't have too much water going into your brush. So that's important. Then recently, a friend of mine gave me this. Her mother passed away about a year ago, and she was painting with watercolor. So I got this, which is really a great, I'm really grateful for this. You can, as you see, you have areas to wipe your brush. This would be your dirty water. That would be your clean water. And then what's really important that I want to express to you, because I didn't know this, was that when you're drying your brush, you really need to hang your brush down, or you can lay it flat. Now, I use this a lot while I'm painting. I'll just lay it flat, because if you have your brush, I used to wash my brushes in the kitchen and then have them sit up in a jar. It's like the worst thing you could do to a brush, because eventually over time is the water seeps into the barrel and it loosens the glue and it'll ruin your brush. And these brushes are so expensive over time. I mean, I have accumulated in a year and a half a lot of product that I don't want to get ruined. So I try to take very good care of my stuff. This is a dish I got on Amazon. It's a soap dish. I'll see if I can find it and I will put it below. I like it because it was inexpensive, and it's not like I've seen these other dishes that where it looks like a Asian thing, and it looks like the brush is like this. And I don't want my brush to be leaning any way, 45-degree or any kind of an angle, for the reason I just explained. So that's important to know about taking care of your brushes. Now, I know that Aimee talks about a soap that you can use to clean your brushes. I don't have that, but in the future I will get that. So I'm looking to think, what was the next thing I wanted to show? So I showed you the proper paper, the paints that I started with and I'm progressing into, and how to handle your brushes, the type of brushes, the water, the palette. And I also use, I think I mentioned, a rag. This is a cotton rag. You can get it at Walmart. I think there's 10 in a package. They're great in the kitchen, and they're also good on your workstation. So I got into, the next thing is colored pencils. So with colored pencils, I should show you this one first. I started with the Stabilo. I found out about Stabilo through Pam at the Paper Outpost. So I went online, not knowing anything about colored pencils, and they're watercolor pencils. So there's 12 in this package, and the only thing that I say that I wish I had done was bought a bigger set. I really like them. In my opinion, they work fine. Professionally, I don't know. I like them a lot because I like the colors. I can tell what color it is by looking at the handle of the pencil. They're easy to use, but I don't have a lot of experience with colored pencils. I do know that the Faber-Castell is a set that I really want to get because of the color choices that they have. They're not watercolor, but you don't always have to put water on them. So I have used these with water and I've used them without water, and they work really well, in my opinion. So those are the Stabilo Aqua Color 12 watercolor pencils. And if you get these, I think you're going to be very happy. The next set that I got, based on somebody's recommendation, were the Derwent Intense. Now these are really highly pigmented. They're very preferred watercolor pencils. I have used them many times and they are beautiful. However, in my opinion, I like brighter colors, and these I think would be excellent for working on like a landscape with trees and stuff like that. You can see I gravitate towards these colors over here, but I have been working on them today. I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone of just using bright colors, and I'll show you in a minute some of the stuff that I've just been doodling and working on in this book. But this is a really beautiful set. They're very they're long in comparison to, much longer than the Stabilo. So you get, well, and I've been using these, so you get more pencil, as you can see. They're much longer. More expensive. You can add water to these, and I will do a demonstration of them. As you can see, the ones that I really like, I love the green. Lime green is one of my favorite colors. So, and you can see I kind of gravitate towards these colors. But I'm going to come out of my comfort zone and I'm going to start using these. And then for my birthday, I might buy myself the Faber-Castell. They're very expensive, but well worth it from what I understand. So I do use colored pencils, and those will go to the side. So the next thing I like are, and I put them to the side. Let me see. I don't know. I think, okay, I opened this package when I was doing the video, the first video, and now I took them out. I love these these markers. They're pigment liners. So they come in different sizes. So let's see. You have the 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, 0.8, 0.1. So 1.1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 1.0, and 1.2. And the nibs size get bigger. And where's the smallest? I think it's 0.2. So you can see the nib size on this is very small, as opposed, in comparison, I should say, to the 1.2. So you have a variety in there. And I love these. They work great. Let me make sure I have them in the right cap. And this is my second set. I had to go and buy, and I keep them separate from the ones in my cup over there. So I use these. I recently just got, okay, so what happened, oh, I forgot, it's a 0.05 in there also. I think there's 8. Let me go back to this. Yeah, there are, I missed one. So the smallest one is 0.05. So you get 2, 4, 6, 8. You get 8 pens in this, and I love them. Different size nibs, so you can do a lot with this. The other one that I just got based on a recommendation, and I tried them out. What happened was, let me see, I got 2 of these. So originally I went online and I was looking for a brush pen. I bought these, and they come with a little packet that you can store them in, flap over. It's really nice. However, one of the nubs, it's not this one. Yeah, it is this one. It kind of got like a little fuzzy on the tip, and I found it very difficult to get a very sharp point. So I went out, let me keep this one. Let me get a piece of paper. I have one right here. You can see in my demonstration yesterday, when I did the first video, that I didn't like. Okay, so with this one, you can get a fine line, but it's not that easy to get. You really have to be so careful, and then you can get a thicker line. So it will give you a much thicker line. However, these are the Tombow Fudensuki. They come, I don't know why they come in two different color barrels, but I love them. They're both black. So I will show you. Very easy to make a fine line. The other one, I really had to barely touch the paper to get that fine line. Now, to get a thicker line, it's like this. Not as thick as this one, but it serves its purpose. I got a hair there. So they're both black. I'll show you. This is black also. And there's your thicker line. This is a higher quality brush pen. I absolutely love it. Much better than these. Okay, so those are my brush pens. Then I also use the Posca white. I only use the white. Craig is pulling. Let me hang that up. Okay, so these have two different nubs. So this one is a 1.8 and this one is a 0.9. So I'll show you. I love using these. You can do lines with these and you can also do dots. I love doing dots. I think they make my paintings look cute. Did I put this on right? No. I have 2 phone calls to return and they didn't stop my recording, thank God. Okay, and then the other thing that I have, this is, and I haven't used this in a while, so I hope it works. Let me see. So it comes out. This is masking fluid. So you will go over your, and it's ripping the paper because this is not the right paper. What happens is it comes out blue and it covers an area of your painting that you don't want any paint to go over. So you can go brush right over this and it'll protect the paper. Then once it dries later on, you just rub it off and you have your white spot. So this was handy. What I need to get next is a jar of the masking fluid. Now the other pens that I have are the Micron fine liners. Now these come in different sizes also, and I believe there's another one. So I have 2, 4, 5. I think there's more. Let me just check. So it turns out there's only 5. Not only, but 5 is enough. So you have, the sizes are, let me put them in some kind of order so you can see that. 08 and 01. So you have 01, 03, 4, 5, and 8. So they come in different nib sizes. So it's very small to a little bit larger. And these are the microns. And they come highly recommended. But I seem to gravitate towards the Stettlers. So that's that on my pens. I also use black, white, and gold Signos. The problem that I have, and I will complain about it, sorry, are the white Signos. They don't always work, and I found that maybe the one that I was using might have been out of white ink. Yep, I think that's what the problem was. So I take that back, Signo. Let me see. I threw out the other one. Yep, that one's okay. So what the problem was that it was out of ink. My bad. So I do enjoy the Signos. So I have them in black, white, and the gold. I love the gold. So they work great on hot press paper because there's no bumpiness. And the trick to the white is to not press hard, to press very lightly on the paper, and the white will come out better. So my problem was probably because the one I was using was out of ink. Okay, so that's that. Then the next thing is my markers. So on a recommendation, I bought these, and I love them. So these are the Doodle Hog. There's 48 brush tip watercolor pens, and it's only on one side. It has the sharp point on one side. What I like about these, they're watercolor also, but what I like about them is that I can actually see the colors in the barrel. So, and they have a very nice point, and I really enjoy working with these. You get 48, and you also get 2 watercolor brush pens. So you can see the colors. They're absolutely gorgeous. They look really good on watercolor paper. I'm working in a book right now. It comes with instructions. And these came highly recommended because someone was recommending another set, and then this woman came on and said, don't use those, use these. So I went on the recommendation, and I'm happy with them. She has experience with brush watercolor pens, and I've spent so much money I can't afford to just throw money out the window, nor can you. So another thing that's useful when you're painting is to have the right erasers. And you've seen me many times, I'm just grabbing this type of eraser, but it works. But to get yourself a good eraser, the Faber-Castell erasers are excellent. You do your drawings, and then what you'll do is you'll go over and you'll roll the kneaded eraser on the drawing to get off most of the graphite. And I leave it inside here because they do get hard over time, and my last one got hard, so I went and got a new one. Aimee recommended a lot of different pencil sharpeners, but she recommended this one. It was on the less expensive side, so I bought it. What's nice about, she said this is a great eraser, and it really is. I sharpened all my pencils with this before I demonstrated to you. Now the trick was, when I got this, I could not figure out how to empty the barrel. So let me see if I can do this without getting it all over. So you just take your thumb and you lift it off like that, and then you can empty it. And it's nice and compact. You can go into the living room or wherever you are and not spill any shavings. I brought this tape out for a reason. Now, a lot of times I will outline some of my paintings, not a lot of times, but sometimes I want a little border around my paintings. So I will use either masking tape or painter's tape. And sometimes what happens is the tape lifts or rips the paper. You don't want that to happen. So a trick for that is to take out your blow dryer, and while you're lifting the tape, heat the blow dryer underneath the tape while you're lifting it slowly, and it will release the tape so it doesn't rip your paper. That was a great tip. Okay, so the next thing, and I think we're coming to the end of this, was this book, which was recommended, and it's 365 Days of Art in Nature by Lorna Scobie. I will put this in the link below. What's interesting about this book is that she gives you information on, this is where I learned about the Staedtler pens. She talks about, how you can look at nature and get ideas for painting or drawing. And then she talks about, she gives you this chart. So the chart is broken down on things that can help you feel relaxed, use your imagination by color, go out and about. Green would be out in nature. And then there's tutorials. I don't know what that one is for. But anyway, she talks about the different materials in here. She talks about the liners, the brushes, pencils. She did mention Faber-Castell. Karen Diash, I'm hearing a lot about her. I don't have anything by her, but I have plenty of useful material to get started. So she talks about brushes, paper, materials on the go. These watercolor brushes are excellent. She talks about a pencil sharpener. And so she gives you activities to do. I started doing this. I haven't done a lot in this book. This was already, these butterflies were there, and then I started tracing them, and I'm going to finish after this video. I'm in for the day. draw some trees. I draw 2 trees here. And then I was working on flowers. I didn't finish that. That's today. I'll be working on that. This is to look at these cloud shapes and decide, what do you see in these clouds? I have the hiccups now. Can you believe it? Look at the cloud. What do you see? And try to draw a picture out of it. So she gives you ideas of things to do. She gave you the fish and you just color it in. So this was just, I was watching a movie last night and I just put this in bed with me, took out the Derwent and started coloring. This was a wave, and then you are to finish the wave and put in some marks. So I used the Doodle Hog markers on this, and I was on the phone today, and I was just trying to replicate this. It didn't come out really good, but you see what you can do. So here are some animals, and then you're to draw them, in different positions. You can see what's in this. I'm not sure what she wants. Explore using different materials to create your art. Use a different material to color each pair. Perhaps try cut paper, collage, and paint. So you can cut out different papers. You can put different papers in here and make, a collage of a pair. There's all different activities that she gives you, and they're very useful for working on. Oh, here is a color wheel. You can do this. Like this, it's really a great book to give you some, ideas and motivate our brains to think outside of the box. I highly recommend this book. So I am guilty of having this book sit on the shelf, and I'll give you an update because I'm going to continue working on this book, and I will let you know my progress as I go along. But I'll be using colored pencils and markers, and maybe I'll take out, she says if you want to paint on this, to put a gesso over it first. Like, say if there's a blank spot right here, you want to gesso it. Oh, here are the butterflies. You can make your own. You can doodle. It's a really wonderful book. I highly recommend it to get you, even if you're a professional. I mean, everybody gets blocked. I see that I'm up to 52 minutes already. Okay, the last thing I want to show you. I went on a trip to Eastern Europe with these ladies, and I am very upset that I lost my sketchbook. So I just got this in the mail, and I am going to open it. Let me find that thing to open. Where the heck is it? So we're going to open this, and it is my new sketchbook, Mixed Media by Who. Brand new to me. So there's 78 sheets, which is 156 both sides. It's 8x3 by 8x3. It's mixed media. Let me see if I can get this off without ruining this, because I want to read it. Okay, so this is the little thing that comes in and explains a little bit. It says, pad is various in size and texture. More surprises on the way. Okay, so it's hardcover. It's square. Some people don't like hardcover. I like hardcover. Inside, I see it's got some instructions and information. And what was interesting that I saw when I was looking at the reviews was also this, because a lot of times when I'm working in some of my journals, I'll put some paper towels in between them to make sure that even if I'm using distress inks, that it doesn't get in between the pages. So feeling the pages, they feel really nice. They're not super thick, but they're not thin at all. And it's a pretty thick book. It's got a lot of nice texture, and I believe it's perforated here, so if you wanted to rip them out, you could, which I don't want to do, but you never know. I might find something I really like, and I want to, Okay, so the other thing is, let's see how it lays down. It lays down pretty nice. So you can also use bulldog clips, but look at how nice it lays down. Pretty nice. Let's see. That's pretty good. I like the way it lays down flat. So this is my new personal sketchbook, and I love to have journals. I have a journal inside that I made. Let me, okay, I know this was a long video. Here I am over here. So I do love journals, and I have my own personal journal that I use to write down positive affirmations. I write 10 things every morning that I'm grateful for. I pray. I'm hoping that the world turns around and is becoming a better place. And today, this video is basically for you. And I hope that in my humble experience of a beginner back in the art world, that I can maybe help some of you. So with that, if you did find any of this useful, only thing that I ask of you is just hit the like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of me. And I wish you an amazing day. I really do. Everybody's struggling out there, and we're all just, I'm praying that things will turn around and get better. And again, I will stop babbling, and I wish you an amazing day, and I hope to see you again. Okay, bye-bye.